go outside Beijing to visit the Great Wall. And in fact, we will be staying near the Great Wall for night, so that next morning you can get up early in the morning, hike up the wall, and then see the sunrise. And then in the afternoon, we will return back to Beijing and go for a evening duck dinner. On the next day, we will visit the two national Olympic stadiums. And in the afternoon, we will go to a Chinese cultural park. Now that park is very, very interesting because you will see they have different cultures of different ethnic parts of China. So they have designed miniatures of different buildings. There will be restaurants which have food from different parts of China. Plus in some of those regions they will be presenting folk dances, weddings and other events. So that's a great place to spend your time and learn about Chinese culture. After that we have 2 days for construction site visits. Most probably on day 1, first of all, we will visit a local university which is called as Tsinghua University. In fact, that's a very famous university in Beijing and that is considered as the MIT of China. So we will be visiting the construction management department of that university, and I'm trying to set up a lecture with a professor on safety practices in China. After that, we plan to visit 1 or 2 construction sites in Beijing. Then the next day will be sort of free day for you. So if you would like to travel in a group, like for example, if there are some recommendations, we can travel in a group, or otherwise you can travel by your own. After that, I think on day 6, we are visiting a couple of other sites, the television building as well as some shopping places in Beijing. And on day 7, we will have free time in the morning to do shopping, and then in the afternoon we will take the train to Xi'an. So you have a number of opportunities to do shopping in Beijing, and in fact price-wise Beijing is cheaper than Shanghai. So I will suggest you to do most of the shopping either in Beijing or in Xi'an. Don't purchase the things in Shanghai. Be very careful if you plan to purchase electronics, because there could be a lot of fake things. In China, one word which you will see very common, I don't know whether you are aware or not, is called number 2. Number 2 means fake. And sometimes you will not only find number 2, you will also find number 3, number 4 and number 5. Which means like the 5 would be the worst quality thing. So you need to be very careful that if you are going to purchase some fake items, they are at least have some good quality. In many cases, it might be possible that you buy a Rolex watch in $20, which looks great, but it may not work after 3 months. So be ready for that. You will also find fake iPhones, which looks very close to original iPhone. You may get them in $50 or $60. They work great for 5 or 6 months, and after that you will find that the screen will be jammed or they will not be working. Same another scam which I found, and in fact a couple of my friends personally experienced. In the shops you will find people selling very cheap USB drives, like a 64 gig drive in $5. And on their computer they will show you that it's 64 gig. It works fine, but once you go home and try to copy the data, it will become filled after copying 1 gig or 2 gig. Because they change its operating system, and it will be showing you a lot of storage capacity, but in reality it may not have enough storage capacity. So be very careful if you are going to buy those kind of electronics. But otherwise, I will suggest you can purchase clothes, souvenirs. Those are worth to buy. You can also buy Chinese tea, fake jewelry. Those are great items. You don't need to carry a lot of t-shirts with you. So in fact, if you plan, you can purchase the very cheap t-shirts in Beijing and then use it for the rest of your trip. In China, you can get a good tea maybe $1 and at the most $2. All right. So let's go with the next presentation on Xi'an. So as I told you that we will be
Owen Brown.
And we did Xi'an, which name translates into Western Peace. The name was changed among one of the dynasties. I was reading about it, kind of got confused. I should have put it in there, but just neglected that. Just a little background information. It's the capital of its province. One of the oldest cities in China. As you can see, it's called one of the 4 great ancient capitals. It's among like one of the educational and military centers of the country, and it's had a military background for a long time, and was recently named one of the 13 emerging megacities in the world.
This is just some more background information. Starting point is famous Silk Road is to the west, and you can find many ancient tombs here. These are also where the terracotta warriors were buried, and those are pretty famous warriors in China. Throughout the city, there are many great parks to visit, and it'll be one of the good things that we can go see.
Okay, so just among that, the current population is around 9 million. Population is 98% on Chinese, and the native language is Portuguese. Just kidding, that's Mandarin Chinese.
Just hold on. Let me also tell you a little bit about Chinese language. In Chinese, there are 2 main dialects which they call as Mandarin and Cantonese. So Mandarin is spoken in northern China, whereas Cantonese is spoken in southern China, for example, Hong Kong, Macau, Guangzhou, and so on. Now both languages are written in the same way, same characters, but they are spoken in an entirely different way. So the places which we are going to visit, all 3 cities, they speak Mandarin.
So it's just the dialects are different?
Yeah.
Okay.
But if a person, if he or she can speak Cantonese, they may not be able to understand Mandarin. It's entirely different, although they are written in the same way.
This is some of the food that is eaten. They like to eat dumplings and sour soup. They like braised pork. And then also they like pita bread soaked in lamb soup. It's that last picture there.
And let me tell you, that's something very famous in Xi'an. And we will be taking you to a restaurant where you can try the bread and lamb soup. So in fact, in Xi'an you will see this special type of pita bread which they call as naan, N-A-A-N, naan. So the restaurant where we will go, or the traditionally if you will go to any restaurant which is serving mutton soup in Xi'an with bread. So first of all, they will bring you the bread, and you have to basically crumble it and make small pieces of the bread. After that, they will take it back and put it in the soup and bring back to you. So it takes some effort to crumble it and make small pieces of the bread because it's very, very hard. So we will be doing this practice in Xi'an.
Okay, so methods of travel, similar to Beijing, you're going to rent bikes. A lot of the places is what most of the websites said. It also said there were 6 taxi cab companies within the city, so finding a taxi readily available is fairly simple. And among the traveling, it's definitely talked about renting those bikes on the city walls. It said if you didn't rent bikes, it would probably take you about 4 or 5 hours to walk around the top or something. That's what it said. But you can get around in about 2 on a bike.
Back to the terracotta warriors again. They were part of the Emperor Qin Shai. Shang Shai? How do I say that? Qin Shai. Yeah.